I'm Tim Bradner. Welcome to Capital Views. Thanks for joining us. And we're here today with Jeremy Woodrow, the Executive Director of Alaska Seafood Marketing Institute. And we're Zooming in our talk with Jeremy, which is sort of the way we do things these days. Anyway, welcome, Jeremy. And the fishing industry, the seafood industry is obviously one of our biggest employers, very important to our state's economy. And it's been hard hit by COVID, along with everything else. But how are things going? I mean, how are harvesters and seafood companies faring, getting through this?
Right. Well, thanks, Tim. And first, thanks for letting me be here. Always happy to talk about the seafood industry and about the Alaska Seafood Marketing Institute and what we do for the seafood industry. The last year, 2020, it's been challenging for everyone. And the seafood industry was not insulated from the challenges we've seen due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Fortunately, unlike some industries, at least the fishing industry was allowed to operate this last year. And kudos have to be given to everyone who was involved in ensuring that the fisheries could move forward. There were stakeholders from tribal leaders to municipal leaders, state agencies, many different state agencies, the administration and legislators, as well as numerous folks from the fishing industry who were involved in ensuring that the fisheries could move forward safely and keep our communities, our coastal communities, especially across the state of Alaska, safe and operational and continue to harvest wild Alaska seafood and feed the world the precious resource that we are so lucky to have in our home waters.
Well, from that standpoint, it was a real success story, at least from the purpose of keeping people safe and protected. It could have been a better story in terms of marketing and revenues and everything. And that really ties us in, brings us right to what ASME does. Maybe, Jeremy, you can explain what ASME is and how it works. It's kind of a unique partnership between the state and the private sector.
Yeah, thanks, Tim. Yeah, we are a unique agency. We are a state corporation. We're a public-private partnership between the state of Alaska and the Alaska seafood industry. We're fully funded by the seafood industry through a voluntary assessment that they set upon themselves. That then is collected by the Department of Revenue and then paid through ASME to do marketing on behalf of the industry. And the whole role of ASME is to help foster economic development of this natural renewable resource that are Alaska's wild fisheries. And we do that through marketing efforts. We have marketing programs in the United States as well as worldwide. We have world marketing regions where we work with different contractors and set up marketing plans because Alaska seafood is a globally traded commodity and you really can find it in all the corners of the world.
Jeremy, I think it's probably worth pointing out too that ASME doesn't actually sell fish, that it helps companies sell fish themselves through advertising assistance and promotions. And you might just describe maybe a little bit about how this works. I mean, the ASME people would organize things that go into the grocery stores and go into seafood exhibitions and helps organize harvesters to go and talk about how they catch the fish.
Right. Yeah. Thanks, Tim. Thanks for queuing me up there. Yeah. So ASME really is about raising awareness of our seafood products. We don't specifically sell a specific product. We're really what I like to tell the industry and others is we make it easier for you to sell your fish. And that's by driving consumers toward Alaska seafood, highlighting the qualities of Alaska seafood, the benefits that consumers can generate from Alaska seafood, and then also, why this commands a premium price in the marketplace. And because of that, we've seen consumers worldwide gravitate toward Alaska products. We do have a great story to tell. We do have great products that come from our waters, and consumers recognize that worldwide. And when you put Alaska before any seafood name, whether it's Alaska salmon, Alaska halibut, Alaska king crab, the list goes on, consumers are willing to pay a premium price for that product because ASME has been very successful at highlighting the benefits of Alaska seafood.
It's been a real good story to tell. Jeremy, looking forward to the next year, and I know you're not dependent on the state budget, but there are, I'm sure, issues that the state deals with, regulatory issues and other things that might have an effect on seafood or an effect on ASME. Is there anything kind of looming out there that would be of concern or you want to actually give a little support for?
Right. Well, while we said that the industry was least able to fish in 2020, it wasn't insulated from impact. The food service industry, which impacted so many people across the world and Americans as well. 70% prior to the pandemic, 70% of all seafood was sold in the food service industry. And so if we don't get that back, then we are going to have a challenging time moving forward selling Alaska seafood. And so the value of Alaska seafood took a pretty big hit this past year. Yes, we were able to harvest, but there's so much uncertainty in our market right now of where to place that seafood. And that creates a challenge for ASME, it creates a challenge for our industry, and it's going to create a challenge for our state if we cannot bring that value of seafood up, because seafood is so vital to our state's economy and keeping coastal communities as well as the entire state really moving forward.
Jeremy, you might just to explain that a bit more. What was the market segment that has been suffered? I mean, we know the white tablecloth market, which is a high value market, was way
Right.
down. But institutional sellers, I mean, grocery stores did fine.
Grocery stores have done well. Retail has been up, and that's been wonderful to see. More Americans are cooking seafood at home than ever before, and we definitely recognize that, and we hope that they continue to do that going forward. But when you think of travel and leisure, hotel, restaurants, institutionals, we have our white tablecloths as well as those kind of dine-in services. Rolling closures have been really difficult, and it's created a lot of volatility, and that's driven down the price of our seafood products.
In terms of the overseas markets, I mean, I think we've been sort of blocked out of China and the Far East because a lot of the same, also the trade tensions haven't helped us. Exactly.
Right. There's definitely trade tensions that continue. Those are always going to create challenges, and our global customers are having the same challenges that we're having here at home with opening up restaurants, opening up other parts of their economies.
Yeah. Well, Jeremy, thank you. It's obviously a dynamic situation that's going to be always changing quickly. At any rate, thank you for joining us.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you for having me, Tim.
Right. Thank you.